Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here on our channel, our website, or our social media. It's in the description below. Reach out to me directly, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing a 1,000-piece special series Panerai limited edition from 2013. This is the Panerai Luminor Submersible 1950 Ceramica PAM00508, a dive watch entirely of black ceramic. It's an extraordinary timepiece of 47 millimeters in diameter, thick at 17 millimeters, but this is not a watch that begs to disappear under a cuff, so that shouldn't be a problem. From lug to lug, 57.5 millimeters with a 26 millimeter spacing between the lugs. You can also see that the watch uses old school Panerai screws and bars to retain the strap. So no spring bars used here, screws and bars, more secure. And if you're Paneiristo and you already have your strap changing tools, you can jump to strap swapping. We'll talk about what comes standard in a moment, but first let's throw the watch on my wrist. 16 centimeters in circumference. You can see the timepiece from lug to lug is broad, but somehow in ceramic, the watch is lighter than you'd expect for its size, and because the lugs are relatively short and stubby, they don't seem to flare out as offensively as the similarly sized and wingspanned IWC Big Pilot. This watch feels like it would wear well even on a wrist of 15 centimeters circumference, as long as you're okay with the look, which is overpowering, stark, and gigantic. Now, the timepiece will fit underneath a jacket cuff, but not a dress sleeve. But again, this isn't the type of watch you wear with fine attire for the sake of elegance, nor do you wish it to disappear underneath the sleeve. Okay, the strap. I mentioned strap swapping a moment ago, but what comes with the watch is outstanding. It's a Panerai vulcanized rubber strap with Panerai logo on top, two strakes molded in to give it definition. It is thick, though flexible, so you know it's not going to tear, but you can also see that some of that volume has been used to create little cavities on the underside to better vent the wrist on a hot day. The strap itself is Italian-made, fitting given Panerai's military heritage in the Italian Navy, and there is a simple blackened titanium trapezoidal pin buckle for quick adjustments. We talked about the fixture system that attaches the strap to the case. Let's talk about the case. It is the Luminor 1950 case that evokes the original Panerai military reference 6152. Now, you can also see that this is the same design that debuted with the PAM00508 in 2002, the 1950. It's a little bit more true to history and also a little bit more nuanced than the tuna can-like Betterini case designed by a former Panerai employee Alessandro Betterini for the original 1993 watches. Now, because it is ceramic, the marks you see are actually deposits that were left by a contacting surface on the watch. So that's not a scratch of the watch, that's actually a little piece of metal or surfacing that was scratched off of whatever came in contact with it, so it can be buffed off with an eraser. The ceramic is incredibly hard, and if, like me, you can't stand watches that have been refinished, a ceramic watch is the answer to that. Super hard at over 1200 Vickers, it resists scratches, scuffs, and dents, and at the same time, because you cannot refinish ceramic, you see every crease and every joining of seams, every arc, every corner, as sharp as the day it left Neuchâtel. This is the way to go if, like me, you just cannot stand losing original factory finish or metal on a watch. Go ceramic and forget those problems. The bezel is also ceramic. It's a wonderful dive bezel with a chunky detent and a loud report. Have a listen. Along with the Doxa sub, the Panerai Luminor Submersible series has the best bezel sound and feel in the business, and the knurling is small and sharp, so it's easy to grip with wet, sweaty, or gloved hands. You can see the device protecting the crown, it too in ceramic, full aspect protection for the crown and a locking lever, and as you will note, the locking lever, true to history, is a little cam system that creates 300 meters of water resistance when closed and immediately unlocks the crown for setting and winding when you lift it. It's also a great warning that you need to lock your crown before you dive down, because this is simply harder to miss than a screw-down crown that might have been left out a few turns. The watch does feature a time zone function, so you can move that hour hand independently. You can even jump the date forward or backwards if you wish while you travel. Note that the seconds hand continues to move, and I'm not disrupting the minutes, so I can jump time zones quite easily. Now, if I want to stop everything and synchronize, hacking seconds is just a matter of pulling the crown all the way to the second stop. The dial is the SLC style, a very early prototype-inspired Panerai dial fashion with applique indices, as you can see here, and a double index at 12, a single index down at 6 o'clock. The dial is robustly loomed, and there will be a loom shot. You can see the Siluro Alanta Corsa, or the SLC, the manned torpedo on the case back. This is a mechanism that was used by the 10th Flotilla, Italian Navy, pioneering tactical amphibious war folks during World War II. Most successfully in the raid on Alexandria, when a large British fleet component was damaged, including the British battleship Queen Elizabeth, which actually sunk to the bottom of the harbor because this manned torpedo is full of bombs. The idea was attach it to a hull and then beat your retreat. That was the idea, at least. It didn't always work, but it's a romantic notion. Inside the watch, which features a titanium case back, water resistant down to 300 meters, you have the Panerai manufactured caliber 9000, 2 barrels, 3-day power reserve, time zone function, stop seconds, free sprung for shock resistance, 28 joules. It is the works, and it's very tough. It's not overly thin, it's not overly fine, but it can take a hit. It's quite accurate, and again, with the 72-hour power reserve, if this isn't a watch that you want to wear every day just because it is so big and bombastic, you can put it down for a day or two in between use, in between windings, and it's not going to lose the time or the date. There's a lot to love about this watch, and again, if like me, you can't stand refinishing, ceramic is the way to go. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. 8 beats per second by night with the PAM508.